Yesterday, the video, the preview for Joker 2, or Joker, however you say the title. I don't yet know how it's pronounced. It's in French, uh, but um, the preview was first shown, and I, I think it's mostly gotten a positive response. I think though, when you throw something out like that to the internet, there are going to be naysayers, and I imagine some of the naysayers are naysaying. Naysayers are going to naysay, but I'm optimistic about this sequel. I didn't think the movie needed a sequel. I'm generally not really a sequel kind of guy. If if you have a movie or a book or whatever that stands on its own and that's self self enclosed, um, uh, or whatever, there's nothing in it um, that is in need of the story being continued, then I'm mostly in favor of just leaving it alone, letting it be its own self. Um, which is why I've rarely written any sequels to any of the books that I've written. I remember. Well, I won't get into that. That's about me. I don't want to be self indulgent here, but but I do think that Joker, it stands on its own and didn't need a sequel. But I have faith in the production team. This is the same people, the same lead actor, the same director, the same writing crew who gave us Joker, and I don't know what direction they're going to go with story wise with this new movie, but I have um, uh, I'm optimistic. I think it will be good. I don't know if it'll be as good as the first one, but I think it will be good. That's my prediction in April. We'll see come October whether or not I was right. Now, what I wanted to talk about, since this brings up the whole issue of Joker, and back in 2019, I was a huge advocate for Joker. It was a movie that I saw a ton of times. I was a little obsessed with that movie, and I recorded a bunch of videos about it, and I recorded some videos, taking on what some of its detractors were saying about it. Um, and that my audience had a mixed reaction to that. Some people thought I was right. Others were not so keen on me defending that movie. But I want to go back one more time, because most all of those videos are pretty much gone now, because they were part of my initial incarnation on YouTube, which got nuked. Um, but I want to talk about something that I actually never talked about before, and that is, there are people who have consistently criticized Joker, the original Joker, the 2019 Joker, for supposedly copying or stealing from Martin Scorsese's work, particularly The King of Comedy and Taxi Driver. Those two works, particularly their aesthetic and something in their story, is at times similar to the story of Joker. Not identical by any stretch, but similar. Um, and what I've always wanted to say in response to that is that yes, those are conscious references that Todd Phillips, the director, was making. Um, he meant for the viewer to see uh, those references. He somebody who steals just uses this stuff and then tries to make it seem like he made it up or he created it, and doesn't want you to know that it's that it came from somewhere, something that someone did before him. But that is not the spirit in which it is done in Joker at all. So you have the depictions of Gotham City, the squalor of Gotham City, resembling in some ways the squalor that's depicted in Taxi Driver of New York City. And you have the storyline involving Murray, the talk show host, or the late night talk show host, and Arthur Fleck's relationship with him, and that mirror certain things, or refer back to, or make the film, make the film's viewer, if he's film literate, recall these things. The movie is even done, and I felt like such a nerd doing this, but like when it came out, and the very first image that you see is the Warner Brother logo, but it's the Warner Brother logo from like 1983 or 1982, which I remember from way back when. I remember when movies would start with that logo, just a white screen, and then the Warner Brother logo in the midst of the white screen with no music or anything going on. Right from the start, it's saying this is set in the past, in a particular past, and so homage. Okay, here's what I would like certain people to get into their heads. The notion of an homage or a reference is not the same thing as copying. Okay, it's not the same. It's not people who said, "Well, Todd Phillips is just a hack because he just did what Scorsese. He just copied Scorsese." If Scorsese thought that Todd Phillips was a hack and was ripping off his work, ripping off his aesthetic and his storylines from those two movies, would Scorsese have been friendly with the production? Would Scorsese, have been at one point a producer? He was going to be a producer. Eventually, he dropped out of that position, but not because he didn't like the movie or where it was going, but just because he felt that it would be best for his name to be removed. But he spoke positively about Todd Phillips' Joker at the time. And he was close to the production. So if he were, again, pissed off about Phillips, quote-unquote, stealing his ideas, stealing his aesthetic or storyline or whatever, that kind of reaction would have been highly unlikely. So I just think some people just need to be more reflective. I think there's an absence of there's a reactive quality. People often say reactionary. They mean reactive. Reactive means you react without really reflecting. There's a reactive quality to much of the internet, to much of internet discourse, where they just immediately say something is shitty or that you're shitty or you're wrong or you suck, and their reasons tend to be pretty shallow and not reasons that would suggest a reflective mind. So those who are critical of Joker for these reasons, I think, really should re-examine their criticism, because it's really quite shallow criticism. It doesn't take into account that writers, filmmakers, artists of all kinds constantly make references to people who came before them, to their influences, people who came before them. You see that all the time in literature and in the movies and in art, and that's what's happening with Joker, and its use of imagery that's suggestive of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. So, boom, there you go. You're roasted. I've put you in your place. Thanks for watching.